Hello viewers, it's always a pleasure having you, and today we are having a guest who is Honorable Hellen Otolo, who is aspiring for gubernatorial position in Vihiga County. So for much more details, if you want to know more about Hellen Otolo, join us till the end of this program. I'm your host, Lily Shivoko. And to begin our program, I would like us to start with the guest introducing herself to us and her telling us where is she coming from, and where is she heading to. You're most welcome in our program.
Thank you very much, Lily.
Yes.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
As you've said, my name is Hellen Otolo. I come from a place called Luanda in Vihiga County. And I had started writing about the culture of the Banyere people, including my grandmother. Her name was Phoebe Chilwa. She was very instrumental in shaping the way the women were treated in Banyere society.
Okay, so what inspired you, first of all, to write about
what
the culture?
What inspired me was actually the fact that she would go around preaching in a muhaya, and at the same time she would teach people how to plant vegetables.
Okay.
Her produce was always number one. She was always first, and she was recognized by the colonial government those days.
Okay.
In fact, she got a certificate in home economics. She did it in 1965. I wasn't even born yet. I was born 2 years later.
Okay.
So I really needed to know about this lady because I could hear people talking about her. There was a song about her, you know, how she taught women how she didn't want women to, first of all, not be healthy, because they were in the Luya community.
Okay.
Women are not allowed to eat certain parts of the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, like like the gizzard.
Up to date.
Yeah, like the wings.
Okay.
So, but this lady, imagine, almost 100 years ago, she actually convinced the elders to allow women to eat certain parts of the chicken, even the eggs, because of nutrition.
Okay.
Because it was important for the mother to breastfeed, and it was important for the child to grow healthy.
And
so she did
in your
that.
writing, why was it like that? The women not being allowed to eat some parts of the chicken?
It's a gender thing, whereby men in the society derive authority
over women.
Yeah, over women,
Okay.
either through food.
Really?
Yeah. Even language. You know, women are supposed to be seen and not heard. So I was so interested in finding out about this lady, my mother's mother, because she was brave enough. She used to sit with the men in the barazas. In fact, her husband never really used to like it. But she was this forceful person who the colonial government identified her, and they made her a chief, a woman chief, because she was very influential.
Oh, okay.
And she even encouraged the colonial government to allow soldiers to come back home so that they can have children, so that they can have more children to fight for the colonial government. And I think that is how my mom met my dad, because my dad was in the army.
Okay.
So when he was allowed to come back, I think that is how my grandmother and my dad's mother arranged for my mom to get married to my dad. So I was actually writing a book about this lady, so it required me to go around. And that is when I began to see the problems in Vihiga County. Yes. I saw the poverty levels.
Yeah.
I saw children selling tomatoes in the markets. I saw really bad roads, you know, access roads. I saw very beautiful places that, you know, nobody was really marketing, because in some counties, like I remember when I was in primary school, we would go to Longonot for trips, and we would pay just to climb Mount Longonot and go to Lake Naivasha to see, you know, Lake Nakuru to see the flamingos. In Vihiga County, because I have aunties who live on top of the hills, I had to climb up those hills. And the hills are beautiful. You know, the scene is so wonderful. You can see Kisumu City right from the top. You can see the airport, you know. It's good for hiking. And then in those hills, we have mineral water. Can you imagine fresh springs, you know? And I could see, wow, this place would be so good for tourism. So I just started talking to people, talking to young people, challenging them to do something with themselves. Because in my community, we have this cannabis sativa, which the young men consume a lot because of idleness. They're jobless. And since I'm a motivational speaker also, I decided, let me do some training, you know. So I went to churches. I would talk to girls, and invite them to my home, just to guide them on how, you know, they should take care of them.
After writing your book, what stage
Actually, the book is still being written.
What is the name of the book?
The book is The Dreams from My Grandmother. I even have a Facebook page on the same.
Is it the only book you've written? Or?
No, I have written now an academic book, Critical and Creative Thinking, because I am a university professor.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been teaching philosophy and critical thinking for the past 16 years at Kenyatta University. Yeah. Yeah, so when I tried to, again, assist the youth in just guiding them on what they should be doing, I got frustrated with the county government because they were not supporting me. And so I felt, if these guys are not going to deliver services, then I think I should run for governor myself. Because if you want something done right, you do it yourself. So I felt I have enough of years of experience in the university. I was a senior, I was in senior management. I was a director.
Let me ask you a question. You say that if you want something to be done right, you have to do it yourself. What about delegation? You don't believe that somebody can be delegated or assigned? And
but someone has to, the leader has to carry the vision. Yeah, and that is what we normally lack in our families, in the society, the communities. There's no vision because there's no leadership. So the person who actually carries the vision is the person now, once you have the vision as the leader, then you can delegate. Then you can say, okay, I want, for example, if it is agriculture, how do we achieve food security, for example, which is what my grandmother wanted to do. She didn't want women to go lacking food and begging. So that is why she taught them how to plant vegetables. Yeah, if it is tourism, you as the leader, you have the vision. You're saying you want a certain number of tourists to be visiting your county. And then the person that you delegate to, you give them those targets so they're able to do that.
If you want something to be done perfectly, do it yourself.
You do it yourself.
What are you doing?
Because I felt I have the experience. I used to sit in the Senate Executive, which is an advisory body of the university at a very young age. And so I was exposed to public administration. And I felt that was the gap that seems to be lacking in the county. Yeah, we don't really have professionalism in service delivery. And I felt I need to offer myself because we need to give back to the community.
You've just mentioned that from your own community, there's some parts of I don't know, chicken that are not allowed for women to consume. That means the community is patriarchal.
Absolutely.
And what do you think, you being a woman and you're going to vie for gubernatorial position?
Oh my God. I have actually encountered chauvinism at its highest level, even among the educated. It really shocked me because there's someone who actually said, he said it in Kiswahili, he said, "Ambia mama ende alime." This guy, it seems he sees women just as people who are good in the shamba. Yeah, he was not seeing my credentials, he was not seeing the leader, he was seeing a woman And if you look at the statistics, 60% of women in Africa, they live in the rural areas. And they're tied to the home. You know, they're always in the shamba, they have babies on their back, they're carrying firewood, they are collecting water. So this is the image of a woman.
Okay.
Now, you can imagine me showing up and saying I want to be governor, a position that is obviously assumed to be for men, because even in the community, women are not supposed to hold this position.
Okay.
So those are the challenges I've been having. I've been telling them that we need change.
Okay.
You are complaining about poverty. You're saying your kids are not going to school. We need change, and change must come, irregardless of the gender that it comes with. Yeah. So I'm trying to move them away from looking at me as a woman, but seeing me as a leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
And generally, do you think Vihiga County is ready for a woman governor?
I think from the kind of interactions I've been having with people, they are beginning to embrace the idea.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I am branding myself not as a woman, but actually as a mother.
Yeah.
And you know, a mother has 3 roles. A mother creates, you give birth to the child. A mother nurtures,
You have to nurture.
you take care, and a mother transforms.
Okay.
Yeah, so women are the cultural transmitters of knowledge. They're the ones, and values. They teach children good, bad, right, wrong. And everyone loves their mother.
Okay.
So I decided to brand myself as a mother and not really as a woman. The way I'm seeing people doing in Nairobi, you know, you've heard the names they call themselves.
Okay.
Bewa Nairobi, Msupu, I don't know what. I didn't want to brand myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually mama. So I'm telling, my tagline is actually si mama na mama, because a mother, and my symbol is a basket, because women are always harvesting, you know, they're the ones who cook, they're the ones who take care of the family. And as a governor, we are talking about distribution of resources.
It's okay.
So I believe, yeah, they are. I am so excited that men are actually saying, hey, we need change, and this girl looks like she can bring that change.
Okay. Let's now take a short break, and when we are back, this is Honorable Hellen Otolo, who is aspiring for gubernatorial position in Vihiga County. So don't go far.
Only your love I appreciate. If you not him, I not go take go. Baby girl, let's relate. Tunde kula pesa, 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 pesa. Tunde kula pesa, 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 pesa. You boy, kind of way, baby, wine for me, the kind of way, wine for me, baby, wine for me. You got me feeling some kind of way. Terra, fan, okay, I'm a terra. जबरा होए रे जबरा फैन हो गया ओ तुझे देख के ही दिल में धड़धड़ान हो गया मैं तुझको चुराया है पाया है ये जहां तुझको चुराया है पाया है ये जहां तुझे इतनी भी खबर है कि तेरा हीरो इधर है तेरा ध्यान किधर है ये तेरा हीरो इधर है तेरा ध्यान किधर है ये तेरा हीरो इधर है
This is your show. We talk about career planning and development.
People worship entrepreneurship. You look at entrepreneurs, you see them driving good cars, but it's not as easy as that.
It's very prudent not to postpone your dreams. If you believe in something, go for it.
They say 90% of the opportunities happen because of just showing up. Just showing up, period. If it's a tender that you're looking for, just show up, yes?
There are millions of ideas out there. The ones that do and make an effort with the little resource that you have, with the empty pockets that you have. What can you do?
Welcome back, and you're glad that you're still watching. And with me is the Gubernatorial Aspirant of Vihiga County, who is Hellen Otolo. She's here to tell us more about herself, how the journey and the desire for her aspiring into that position came about. And just to move on, I would like you to tell us how the journey for leadership has been. Okay, first of all, you decided to go as an independent candidate.
Yes.
Okay, what was the reason as to why you went that way instead of going through parties?
Yeah, I actually started as an independent, and the reason why I decided to be an independent is that personally, I do not think parties have really matured politically to carry out their mandate as a mass movement. And you know, a mass movement is supposed to rally people towards a certain goal. Like I remember during those Kanu days, you know, we talk of Harambe. The spirit of a Harambe means pulling together.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're rallying together towards a certain goal. And what was the goal that time? To eliminate poverty, hunger, ignorance, and disease. So I realized the parties that are around are like businesses. You know, they only exist some months to the election. That is when you see parties putting up offices and trying to recruit. But I think a party is supposed to be in your life right from the time when you're a child. So I decided to run as an independent, and then somewhere along my journey, my supporters were telling me, why don't you get into a party, because you will need at least the party to support you when it comes to agents, you know, so that they can guard your votes. Because as an independent, it would become even very expensive. You'd rather be in a party. So what I did, I joined the ODM. And then in ODM, they gave the ticket to one of my opponent now, who is a man. And they wanted me to run for woman rep. So I felt...
Okay, it's them who are telling you what you should go for.
Yes, what to go for.
Okay,
and
what came to your mind? Because actually, most people, maybe some people...
And it has happened even with the other women candidates. You have seen Sholay started off running for governor. It appears she was convinced to run for woman rep. Estapa Saris was running for governor. She ended up running for woman rep.
Okay.
So I was seeing this trend, and I felt, I'm not going to compromise my position.
Really?
If I lose, let me lose as a governor. And if they want me in their party, then the guy should step down. If they really believe
you can
in
deliver.
gender, supporting women leadership and nurturing women leaders, then he is the one who should have stepped down. So I saw the chauvinism over there, and I felt that is not fair. And then, so I moved now to Jubilee because I felt they'd probably be more supportive.
Really?
Yeah, but it appears that the office, they were not very organized. And I like order. I've been teaching critical thinking. It's about order. I don't like disorganization.
Okay.
So I said, you guys sort yourselves out. The day you're ready to do proper organization of the party, then probably I'll come back. Okay. Then I went to Kanu. Now,
again?
Yes. Okay. Now, Kanu, I looked at the ideology of Kanu, and it resonated with my vision. Yeah. Because I don't think political parties should just be vehicles to be used to ascend to power. I think political parties should actually be active on the ground, doing civic education, rallying people towards good agricultural practices, for example. They should be active on the ground. So I saw Kanu, and then Kanu was my family party because my uncle was the former MP for Emuhaya, Sheldon Muchilwa. After, after my mom also ran, by the way, and she came a very close second. And they were all life members of Kanu.
Okay.
So I felt, yeah, this is home.
Do you think your background is the reason as to why you know, is what propelled you into
I think
this leadership?
so, yeah, because initially I was not even interested in running for office. I just wanted to help people. I have all this knowledge which I felt I've accumulated over the years.
Okay.
Why don't I transfer it to my people? But then they're the ones who were saying, hey, you know, why don't you run for office?
And then after choosing, is it Kanu?
Kanu,
What
then,
next?
now when I went into Kanu, we differed over the nomination fee because other parties had reduced the nomination fee for women.
Okay.
But you know, with them, they were telling me, no, you have to pay the full fee, and then later is when we shall refund. I felt, no, I don't like that. So
After
I
Kanu?
yeah, then after Kanu, I decided just to go back to
Independent.
being an independent because I also realized that for the past 10 years, I have been watching parties, and I've never really been comfortable with parties. They've never shown democracy. They've not grown into mass movements. So I was pushed into looking for a party by my supporters. But when I told them, look, this is the frustration, I don't think I can survive, they said, okay, fine.
Oh, okay.
Run as an independent and we are going to support you.
Okay.
Yeah, so on the basis of that, I decided, fine, let me run as an independent. And it will also be good for me as a woman, you know.
The challenges
You're
you've
not
gone so
antagonizing
far?
people.
The challenges you've gone so far as an
The
independent candidate?
challenges, actually, being an independent is a very beautiful place to be.
Oh, okay.
Because you are not attracting enmity from anyone. Because, you know, parties will always fight.
Okay.
It's always a war between you and, you know, us and them. But you see, as an independent, you're very neutral. You're selling your policies. You have an ideology that people can focus on. But with parties, the ideology either does not exist or is lost in the wave. You know, guys get so excited about parties, they forget about looking at the potential of the leader.
Oh, okay.
And that is how we end up with very bad leaders.
If I may ask, what makes you think that you are the best candidate to go for this position?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah. I actually believe I'm the best, honestly. If I was a voter, I'd vote for me.
Okay.
You know, because I've been telling people, look at the manifesto. Okay. I'm looking at the potential of Vihiga County. Okay, the men are saying, you know, you're not experienced, you've never been an MP, because quite a number of the men in the race have been MPs, have been there, so they believe they have the experience. Some believe that they have been tested. So for me, I'm bringing something new. I'm saying we need to prioritize Vihiga County. For example, education levels are really, really low. And you know, when the education is low, then your people cannot compete nationally, they cannot compete globally. So I'd rather have a bad road, but have an excellent classroom with a library, with laboratories and facilities. So I know I'm bringing something fresh in that. I'm going to build libraries in every sub-county. I will build stadium, you know, sports facilities with swimming pools in every sub-county. I will have free Wi-Fi because I know the importance of, you know, internet, especially when you're using it to build yourself. For example, if you're not able to go to school, you can actually study through, you know, we have free online courses. Yeah, so make that accessible. And you know, devolution is about bringing services closer to the people. So I have 4 fire engines in my manifesto. Do you know we do not have even one fire engine in Vihiga County? Do you know we don't even have a dentist in Vihiga County?
Okay.
We don't market the county. I am promising to market the county and bring in the money, you know, let the people make money from their natural resources, because we know we have these tones. We call them amachina, literally growing. We don't have land, but we have stones growing.
Okay.
Those stones, Lily, do you know those stones 20 years ago are the ones that built teleposter towers? Teleposter towers, yeah, this beautiful building, because those stones can be turned into granite. Okay. And granite is you know, a substance that can be used on kitchen tops. Yeah. It's good for construction. And that's money, you know. So, and then the people are also a resource. I like to look at people as a resource. How do we use them to make money? How do we train young people to use their hands? Because they are willing to do it. It's just that they don't have anyone to do it. Now, this hasn't been done for ages. And I believe it shall never be done because I have not seen it in their manifestos. Oh, okay. So that is why I believe I'm the best. And then, of course, I'm a mother. I'm inspiring confidence. Okay. I had someone saying over the radio that in my opponent's strongholds, he was saying, I'm going to vote for Helen because women have mercy. I don't know how to put it in English. The language, it's called timbabasi. You know, they sympathize. They have empathy. I think because of the nurturing, you know, ingredient that God put in us. Therefore, and that gave me a thumbs up.
Okay, before we wind up, I would like to ask you about the IEBC. Do you think the IEBC is ready to ensure that these free and fair elections?
Yes, one thing I like about the IEBC, number one, is that they are following the law to the letter. For example, as independents, we were supposed to hand in our papers within a certain deadline, our symbols for clearance.
I remember.
And, you know, they give a deadline, so we all rushed, you know, because I think they understand that Kenyans are always last-minute people. So, and then I can see them having dialogue all the time. Yeah. So I do have confidence in them. We need to believe in our institutions. If we do not believe in our institutions, we shall never move. Yeah, we'll end up with anarchy. So let's give them a chance. Okay. Yes.
And now at the national level, you've talked about the counties level. I mean, the gubernatorial. Let's talk about the national level. We have, are you for Ruto Tena or for NASA?
Where is your stand? I honestly cannot take a stand right now before these people sell their manifesto to us. Remember, the campaign period has not started yet. I'm told parties are the ones selling themselves, but you can see how they've messed up even their own nomination processes. So I need to see these manifestos. I need them to come to me and tell me, hey, we are promising to fight corruption. We are promising to improve health. We are promising to raise the quality, the standard of living. So I think I will make that decision once I am able to see, and I think that is part of the democratic process, decision-making process, you know, where you are told we are going to do this, and these guys are telling you we are going to do this, and then now we are allowed to make our decisions. Okay. Yeah, so right now I'm still watching them.
It's okay. Maybe to give you an opportunity, the final word you can tell Kenyans or the people of Vihiga County before we wrap up the program. This is your camera.
Oh, thank you very much. There's a philosopher called Mahatma Gandhi who said that there is enough in the world for every man's need, but there will never be enough for every man's greed. That means we do have resources that are enough for everyone to benefit. So to my people, please vote for change. Please vote for good schools. It's not about Helen Otolo. It's about getting our resources equitably distributed. Everybody giving an opportunity to grow, to develop their potential, especially the young people. And we are going to be a world-class county. Vihiga County shall never be the same again. So vote for change, vote for ICT, vote for technology, and we're going to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Helen Otolo. We've come to the conclusion of our program. Let's meet next week at the same time. Have a nice